Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Queen Phierce Has Spoken. I'm your host, Queen Phierce, and I'm starting off with one of my favorite rituals today, and that's making hot tea. So you see me here pouring this red substance. This is actually rose water that I made. It came from rose petals, from roses from my birthday. I just boiled it in water and strained it. What you see here is the red refresh tea. Yes, I got it from Trader Joe's. No, they do not sponsor this video, but I love their tea. So I place that into the cup as well. So I got a nice little blend happening here. Here's my hot water. I can smell it already. You see that steam rising. It's so fragrant, and the tea comes up red because of the rose water and the red refresh. The red refresh has hibiscus and pomegranate, and it's also really tasty. Don't need the honey, but I will add it. Here I have my Hella Healed Immunity Boost. I just take like maybe a milliliter of this. They give you this cute little tube here, but it has everything you need to boost your immunity, like ginger and turmeric and all the things that build your immunity system, and also my elderberry syrup from Hella Healed as well. No, they do not sponsor, but I do like the products, and they sent them to me for free. So I'm grateful for that. But I add these to my tea in the morning just for that little extra, immunity protection, so I can go about my day in these COVID streets. Oh, here's that honey I was talking about. Organic, unfiltered honey, also from Trader Joe's. You can sweeten it as you like, but as I said, the red refresh tea doesn't quite need the honey, but it takes some of that tang out of it. Stir, and then you're all complete. My plants are also a part of my rituals. I look at them, talk to them, water them every morning. I'm in the process of naming them, but they literally make me so happy. And so that's part of my Black History life, honoring what I consider rituals to me. Let's get into this episode. Welcome to another episode of Queen Phierce Has Spoken. I got my tea today, y'all. I am your host, Queen Phierce, okay? And I haven't been with y'all for a couple weeks, so y'all gotta let me know what's going on out there. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, welcome. Just keep coming back. I don't know what to say. I'm just sprinkling this black girl, black queen energy everywhere I go. Big queen energy, okay? Where my queens at? Let's do this. Happy Wednesday. Happy Queen Crush Wednesday. I'm ready to go if you can't tell. Okay, it is 2/2/22. All right, I might have to get into what all these numbers mean, because I know that we got another one coming up, 2/22/22. But this 2/2/22, I woke up today feeling fresh to death, so refreshed. I'm so blessed. Yes, okay? And so if you can't tell, I'm feeling a little sparkly. I got my jacket on. I got my affirmations on. I got my exuding my big queen energy, okay? Shirt available in the shop, queenphierce.com, if you're so interested, okay? And like, comment, subscribe. It's not a video unless you say that, right? So if you're enjoying this content or you want to see some other things I got going on, check out the Queen Phierce channel. It's Queen Phierce, and hit the subscribe button. It really don't cost nothing for you to do that. It's actually kind of cool. Makes me feel good. And like I know what I'm doing, I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? So we are just going to get into it. I have a great show lined up for you today, and I guess I will be having this conversation with myself. No, really, I'm having it with all of you. So I'm having this conversation with you. So make sure you drop them comments, because y'all know I be all in the comments and I respond to every last one of y'all. But I really want to know what y'all thinking, how y'all feeling in this new year. Okay, I think I only had one ep in the new year, but we featured a queen out in LA. And so they got our juices flowing and growing and going. And so I'm just here, y'all. I'm just here. These last few months for me have been so revelatory. I've done a lot of processing, especially when it's come to my interpersonal relationships. I think that we can attribute that to the Venus retrograde. Venus retrograde. We're in Mercury retrograde right now. But yeah, so I don't know if I've been the only one just like going through it, but it's also has been feeling like very necessary work, right? So I'm not afraid to really manage and dive into and do the work surrounding these emotions that I've been having, because it really has been to prepare me for such a time as this. It's been to prepare me for what's going to happen in the 22, or what's going to happen in this 40th revolution, right? So in case you didn't know, yes, I know you can't tell by looking at me, but I've been turned 40, okay? So there's that. I got a whole new like vibe, energy, everything going on, because 40 is something else, child. And like when people tell you like, ooh, just wait till you turn 40, you be like, all right, like I'm gonna be 40 one day, like it's cool. Like no, leading up to 40 was just like everything I've ever had contention with, everything I've ever, that I buried like in the deep recesses of my mind, anything that I felt like was unresolved was coming to the light. And so I attributed it to me being on the cusp of this 40th revolution. And it's been a hell of a journey, and I'll drink to that. I know y'all are used to seeing me drink wine, but technically it's morning for me now. I'm not saying I can't have any wine or I couldn't put a shot of something in here, but I did make this fabulous tea. And if you didn't catch it in the beginning, it's really great. The other night, I really want to start repurposing the things that I buy, especially when it comes to being natural. So I was looking at the roses, and I usually let them dry out. And these were really good roses. None of the petals fell or anything like that. And they're actually still quite, they still have some life to them. They were given to me for my birthday. But anyway, here nor there. So I was looking at them the other day while I was having dinner, and I was like, I wonder if I could make rose water with them. And the recipe really is so simple. It literally is boiling the petals until they lose color and straining them, straining that so you get the water out. And so now I have rose water, but also to find that it has so many benefits for topical benefits, as well as, if you ingest it. So I was like, oh, this is just a great thing to have around. So when you get the chance, look up the benefits of rose water. And if you need some, apparently I have some. So I don't know how often or how frequently I'm going to be using it. So might be willing to share with y'all if you want some rose water. So anyway, I decided to put some rose water in my tea this morning, coupled with the Red Refresh tea blend from Trader Joe's, which is like pomegranate and hibiscus. And it's just very tasty. You don't really even have to sweeten it. And I also use my Hella Healed immunity defense and elderberry with a little bit of honey, soup that up. So I like a little boost in the morning, a little something to get me going and keep me protected out here in these COVID streets. So yeah, it's all about wellness and all about taking care of yourself. That is of utmost importance, because yeah, if you don't take care of you, if you don't have the wherewithal to take care of you, if you don't put the systems in place to make sure that you're taken care of, it will fall to the wayside. So we are going to get into a little bit of conversation about self-care in just a minute. But I think I got almost 10 minutes into this conversation and have yet to say Happy Black History Month. Happy Black History Year. Happy Black History Life. So y'all know I gave up Black History Month years ago, right? Because I live a Black History life. I know that I am Black history in the making. I know that I exist every single day. And my history can't be limited or truncated into the month. So although we're thankful for our leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks and our entrepreneurs like Madam C.J. Walker and all these wonderful Black historic figures, Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, we don't limit them to just a month, because those are our ancestors. They are already like residing and flowing throughout us. We exist because they existed. We are able to grow and glow and create and build because of the groundwork that they laid. So to just try to smash all of that in the 28 days, the shortest month of the year at that. But to smash all that into 28 days is a disservice to our existence. So I choose to celebrate that every day. That's why I'm not just a queen, I am a Black queen. And y'all gotta recognize all this out here looking good. Okay? Y'all know I'm looking good. I put these lashes on for y'all today. Y'all know how I get with the lashes and the brows, so I'm not even going to dive into it. But cheers to everyone who's hopping on the Black History Month train, and cheers to everyone who celebrates their Black existence daily. So I kind of wanted to, and this is going to lead into our self-care conversation, but we've noticed in the news recently that in the last couple of weeks, we've had 2 celebrities who have committed suicide. And so the celebrities that I'm referring to is Regina King's son, Ian Alexander Jr., and Chelsea Christ, the former Miss USA. Both very young. I know Chelsea Christ was only 30. So, and in both cases, there were no indication that there was an issue, right? That they actually had these thoughts of taking their life, or was there, right? Because sometimes these things go unnoticed, they go under the radar. There may have been some kind of cry for help that people just really didn't pick up on. But from what is being said and told and expressed, these 2 individuals seem to really have it going on. Like Ian Alexander was like all into his music. He gave props to his mom. Chelsea Christ was doing social justice work and really representing for like Black women in America. And so it really begs the question of what was the issue? What makes the flip, the change, the switch, right? And we know that it all starts in your mind. We know that it all starts in your mind. And even though those things may not be communicated outwardly, the thoughts that you entertain really do matter. So like if you think it, it's not something that you have to own. You can say, is this something that's going to serve me, or is this something that is not mine, that I'm making mine, that I'm owning? And so we all get thoughts all the time, and it's like, is this for me? For instance, I get ideas probably every 30 minutes, right? But could you imagine if I was like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do that. And I'm already like naturally like that. And I think, oh, I got an idea, like, let me put it out. And it's part of the reason, part of the thing that holds me back from like completing projects, because I'm always starting projects, because I'm always getting ideas. So I'm relating that to when a thought comes into your mind, do you have to entertain it? Is it yours to keep? Should you pass it along? And so because it starts in your mind, that's why mental health is so prevalent. There was no known like mental health challenges or diseases. When people are battling with depression and something like this happens, you're just like, oh well, they were depressed. You know what I mean? But when people appear to really have it together, and then suddenly they make a choice to end their life, there was something happening there under the layers that everybody didn't know. So, I want to encourage you to really grab hold of and take care of your mental health. Identify what that means for you, because what it means for you is not necessarily how it looks for everybody else, or how it looks for everybody else is not necessarily what it means for you. You know what I mean? Some people like to go on vacations. I just got to get away, right? But maybe you're the type of person that's just like, you need solitude. You need some time to yourself. Maybe being around other people is what makes you anxious, or gives you reminders of the things that cause you depression. Like, people are so different. People are on these very opposing ends of the spectrum, and we just have to respect what the individual needs are to people. The other thing is check in on your folks, your people. We are living in this age of social media, and so people really only share with you, and in real life they only share with you what they want you to see, right? So if I don't want y'all all in my business, I'm not going to show y'all my business. Trust me, y'all only see the stuff that I want y'all to see. You know what I mean? So if I know I do that for myself, other people likely do that. And so what is it that's not being communicated, not being shown, even to the closest of those who are with you? It's like, oh dang, that's my best friend. I didn't know that they were going through that. Right, because it's we carry a responsibility to tap in. It really is about tapping in. And if you just, I always say you know your friend, right? Oh, I know my friends. I know how to approach them, how they need to be talked to. I am that friend that's considered like the calm friend, where people would want me to be in the midst of mediation, or they call me when they're, just life journey. So I know that I'm that friend, right? So I think that I know my friends, do they go through things that I don't know about? Yeah. Do I go through things that they don't know about? Yes. So that brings me to the next point about just being honest too. How many times do someone ask us, how are you today? And we just breathe out, okay, I'm okay. What are you thinking? Oh, nothing. You know, be honest with yourself. I've caught myself, especially in the last few days, when people have asked me, am I okay? And I'm just like, oh yeah. Or how are you? Oh, I'm okay. But really just knowing that I'm not okay, and I know that admitting that you're not okay brings up the issue of feeling like you have to explain what's going on with you. And maybe you don't. Maybe you just need somebody else to know that you're not okay right now. And I need support. And how can that person support you? So I think those are the things that it's important for us to learn to communicate, especially with those who are closest to us, so that when we are in crisis, because I'm gonna tell you, we are all of us, nobody is above the other. We are all just one event away, maybe two, from a mental breakdown, a snap. That's why they call it snapping, because it just happens suddenly. Snap happens. Snappins. Snappins. It just, all of a sudden, you're not yourself. So, and that gets tied back into how you're managing your emotions. I tell people all the time, I may be an emotional being, but I'm not an irrational being. There is a difference. So just because you might see me cry, or just because I'm getting a little elevated, A, I know how to bring myself back down. And B, tears are tears. People cry for all kinds of reasons. They cry for joy and pain. So crying is not necessarily the identifier of what emotion you're feeling, right? The only identifier of the emotion that you're feeling is what you communicate and what you tell people. Some people are skilled and gifted in being able to read your emotions, your face, your body language, but everybody does not have that. So you can't expect people to just know that you're going through something. So it's about being honest with yourself and being honest with others. And being honest with others doesn't mean that you have to reveal everything that's going on with you. It means you have to be honest about what you're presenting, right? So if you walk in to a space and you have a long face and it's clear that your mind is cloudy, you can't tell people that you're okay. You can tell people, this is not something I want to talk about right now. You can tell people, maybe we can discuss this at another time, or maybe I'm not in the best space, or maybe, I should leave. Maybe I need a few minutes. Those are things and ways that you can communicate to others when you're not feeling okay, instead of feeling pressured to say that you're okay. It's okay to not be okay. I know that it's such a cliche thing to say, but it's also the hardest things for us to tell ourselves, because we are in a society that is driven by how much we produce and how we present ourselves to the world. And in order to do that, you have to be okay. But for the sake of our mental health and our heart health and our emotional health and even our spiritual health, it's okay to admit that you're not okay. Let's be honest with ourselves and each other. So, that is my note for that. I know that we're going to discuss that or dive into it a little bit more on this week's episode of the Decent Phierce Show, which airs on Thursdays on IG Live. You can follow me, a Queen Phierce, Queen Phierce, or the Decent One, the_DICENT show, to check that out every Thursday on IG Live, 8 p.m. So, in the midst of the mental health talk and being honest, one point that someone brought up that I thought was interesting, and it ties into what I said, is that there's a lot of mental health conversation publicly now because this is affecting people who are in the public eye. But the fact of the matter is that everyday people go through this. So I know the statistic about a year or so ago was that 1 in 4 people suffer from mental health. And I wonder how many of the 3 out of 4 people are either undiagnosed or misdiagnosed, right? Because we all have things that go on in our mind. So what is considered a mental health issue versus what is just like, oh, I have a clean bill of mental health. Don't just jump on a mental health bandwagon because you see people popularize it. I think I can just leave that at that. Check on your strong friends. Check on your sister, your brother, your chosen family. Check on your neighbors. Check on your grandma, your mom, your dad, your cousins. Check on folks. Ask them, are they okay? And ask them to be honest.